Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Proverbs 4 verse 23. This is a call to guard the altar of our hearts, the sacred place where we meet with God. Imagine yourself as a watchman. It's your duty to protect the city from external threats. You're vigilant, always ready to defend. Now imagine this city as your heart, the altar of God within you. Your role is to defend it from anything that would tarnish its purity. Firstly, we must defend our faith. In the book of Jude, verse 3, it says, "Beloved, although I was very eager to write to you about our common salvation, I found it necessary to write appealing to you to contend for the faith that was once for all delivered to the saints." Like Sarah from Manchester, who despite being ridiculed for her faith in her workplace, stood firm in her belief, continuously sharing the love of Christ with her colleagues. Secondly, we must avoid conformity. Romans 12 verse 2 advises us not to conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of our mind. Consider James from Birmingham. Raised in a non-religious home, he stumbled upon an online Bible study group during the lockdown and decided to give it a go. He experienced a transformation that has since seen him lead a life dedicated to Christ, even when it meant going against the grain. Thirdly, we must avoid division. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 10 calls us to agree with one another so that there may be no divisions among us. Remember the story of the church in Leeds. They were on the verge of splitting due to differing views on worship styles. However, they chose unity over division, reminding themselves that they were all serving the same God. Fourthly, we must shun immorality. 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 3 reminds us that it is God's will that we should be sanctified and avoid sexual immorality. Take the testimony of Susan from London. Despite the pressure from her boyfriend, she chose to honor God and her body by waiting until marriage. Fifthly, we must heal from church hurts. Psalm 34 verse 18 assures us that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. George from Bristol shares his story of how he was deeply hurt by the leaders in his previous church. He found healing in God's word and a new church community that showed him the true meaning of God's love. Lastly, we are called to follow the ancient landmark. Proverbs 22 verse 28 says, "Do not move the ancient landmark that your fathers have set." This is a call to respect the spiritual heritage passed down to us. In conclusion, guarding the altar of God requires us to be vigilant, to defend our faith, avoid conformity, division, immorality, and church hurts, and follow the ancient landmarks. These are not just teachings to be heard, but to be lived out each day. As you journey through this week, remember to guard the altar of your heart. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, the altar of God in your heart is worth defending. Until next time, stay blessed.